Segura. I teach 3rd grade at Desart Elementary. This is the entrance of my classroom, well, going out, but normally when you come in, my door is open, and the first thing you would see as my door is open, that I have an example of excellent homework. So my students have an example every day as they're coming in and out of the door of what good quality homework looks like. Then as they're coming through kind of my corridor into the classroom, we have the way to go wall. This wall is a student work that's portrayed individually, and it's basically different writing samples, things that they're proud of, maybe a project. This project that we have is based on a picture book that we read about Martin Luther King Jr., and then they wrote about I Have a Dream. Then over here, we have my L to J wall, which explaining it would take several hours, but basically these are the 25 key vocabulary words that we have in our math standards for 3rd grade. And each poster was created by students, and each word has the definition, it has an example, and we have weekly quizzes that focus on these words that are randomly chosen, and normally the students can recite these definitions by the time AIMS happens, and they know them backwards and forwards. Over here is our data wall that reflects our L to J word wall, and it's showing how correctly the students are understanding our random, our weekly quizzes based on the random 25 words. And see, over here is our classroom library. We do have, I am in the process of sorting my picture books by poetry, nonfiction, science, history, and then the I Can readers for the students who are possibly in special ed or special needs so that they have their own book bin. We are working with Chris Van Allsburg, have our author study here, and chapter books that the students can choose from when we're working in Reader's Workshop. One of our tables looks like this. I'm a little dirty today, but I have the bin that's organized. I have a red folder called the red writing folder. The blue work folder is on the other side of this blue bin. Then we have our Reader's Workshop journals, and we also have our Bell Work journals. And so the students know exactly what to get at what time. It makes transitions go very effectively and smoothly. We have a turn-in center and a paper center. The papers are organized so the students know which kind of paper to get for which activity. They know exactly where to turn in their papers. Always have rules posted in the front, and also I talk a lot about good listening, and we brush up on this almost on a daily basis. Over here we have our homework, homework graph. So it holds the students accountable to know who's turning in homework. I pass through the Writer's Workshop board. This is used during our Writer's Workshop block, and students, after they've learned the writing process and what it means to write quality paper, pretty much after the first quarter, they would begin working independently on different writing projects. And they all start at pre-write, but then they're working independently at their own pace through the different steps of the writing process. Over here we have our calendar, and we have our time tests. We have our daily schedule that also has the objectives written out for each block of time. I do try to make the objectives for whole group and small group. I like to have a teacher table in the front of the room, and I try to have it pretty organized, where I have my lesson plans out and ready, and they're right underneath the objective board so I can go back and forth. I have my teacher manuals right here so I can just grab them. Crayons, all my little clickers, any handouts that we're working on throughout the week, so when I'm referring to them, I can just go straight to this table, put them under my document camera. I'm not running around like a chicken with its head cut off. We have computers over here as well. We have literacy center menus, and the students know exactly what group they're in and where they're going. This is our small group instruction area, and I meet with students here for reading, writing, and math. Also have volunteers come and meet with students here, and normally have my small group objectives up here and any materials ready by Monday morning, so that throughout the week I know exactly where they are and I can pull up the students and work with them immediately. Over here, teacher area. I do have my character counts posters up, and I do have a stoplight chart that I use for behavior. I like to keep it in the back of the room so that if a student is making poor choices and they've had a really rough day, it's not glaring in the front of the room and making them feel worse about themselves. So I try to keep it tucked away, visible, but not up in the line of vision all the time. Then I have math supplies that are organized a little bit better normally, right here on the shelf. And so when we're having math centers, the students know exactly where to go and what to pull out. We have our laptop table. And then the favorite part of the room for the students is our readers workshop area, or we call it the classroom meeting area. And this is where we meet for a reader's workshop. We have our chart here that we focus on with a read aloud that we have daily. So we're reading on the Lion, the Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, and we're focusing on analyzing characters. So we have a poster, a daily poster that we're working on. The students are meeting right here. They know where to sit. They bring their journal and a pencil, and they're copying down what I'm modeling up here. Later on, when they're reading on their own, with their individual chapter books, then they're using the same concept and applying it to their own chapter book. We also have posters that we've worked on in different lessons in Reader's Workshop, so therefore we were working on inferencing and inferring. So we have these posters. So later on in the week when we talk about inferencing, we can refer to these posters again. And different concepts that we're focusing on, higher level questions, making evaluations. And then finally our cubbies. The top part of the cubbies are more for my supplies, but I do have the supplies that the students can use are all labeled. Each cubby is labeled. And then my groups, I like to have students in groups. I have 7 groups and I have 7 cubbies. And the cubbies are normally pretty organized. They have to have their reading books or textbooks in one part of the cubby, their crayons in another part of the cubby, and then we have our classroom community supplies that are in this little caddy. And that's about it. That's my classroom.